Is in a world overflowing with noise, News Decode brings you the truth unfiltered, global, and sharp. From political tensions to celebrity headlines, we break it all down so you don't have to. This isn't just news, it's the story behind the story. If the Middle East stands on the edge of a knife, one wrong move, one missile could ignite the most dangerous war of our generation. Israel, Iran, nuclear threats, shadow wars, and now in 2025, the tension is reaching its boiling point. Are we heading for a full-scale war? Let's decode the truth. Welcome to News Decode, where we break down the world's biggest stories. Today we're diving deep into one of the most dangerous geopolitical rivalries, Israel versus Iran. Stay with us for the next 30 minutes as we decode the military, political, and global stakes of a possible 2025 war. And 2015 there was a brief moment of relief. The Iran nuclear deal, known as the JCPOA, aimed to curb Iran's ability to build a nuclear weapon. Iran agreed to limit uranium enrichment, dismantle centrifuges, and allow international inspections. But the deal didn't last. In 2018, the U.S. under President Trump pulled out, accusing Iran of violating the spirit of the agreement. Sanctions were reimposed and tensions reignited. Iran responded by increasing uranium enrichment, exceeding the limits set by the deal. As of 2025, Iran is reportedly enriching uranium to near weapons grade levels. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency's IAEA, Iran's nuclear breakout time, the time it would take to build a bomb, is now estimated at just weeks. Israel views this as an existential threat. Prime Minister Netanyahu has made it clear, Israel will not wait for Iran to build a bomb. Over the years, Israeli intelligence has launched cyber attacks like the infamous Stuxnet virus, which crippled Iranian centrifuges. Mossad has allegedly sabotaged facilities and assassinated key nuclear scientists. The fear now is that diplomacy has failed. With no new deal in place and both sides growing more aggressive, the situation is deteriorating rapidly. Iran continues to harden its nuclear sites, moving key infrastructure underground and deep into mountains. The clock is ticking. Each side believes time is running out. And if Israel believes Iran is too close to the bomb, a preemptive military strike may be inevitable. Such an attack would trigger an immediate and widespread retaliation, likely involving Hezbollah regional militias, and Iranian missile forces. Between 2023 and 25, the conflict between Israel and Iran has entered a more dangerous, visible phase. What was once a shadow war is now erupting into direct confrontation. Iran has increasingly relied on drones and ballistic missiles to flex its regional muscle, targeting Israeli-linked assets in Syria, Iraq, and even the Gulf. Israel, in turn, has intensified its air campaign in Syria, targeting Iranian weapons convoys and bases near Damascus. Israeli strikes have killed senior IRGC commanders, provoking outrage in Tehran. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, have also upgraded surveillance and missile systems along the Lebanese border, anticipating attacks from Hezbollah. The war is no longer confined to just the Israeli and Iranian militaries. If Iran's regional proxies, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shia militias in Iraq, and the Houthis in Yemen are acting as Tehran's frontline forces. In 2024, the Houthis claimed responsibility for a missile strike on Eilat, a southern Israeli port city. Meanwhile, high-profile assassinations have resumed. Iranian nuclear and military officials have been targeted in Tehran and abroad. Iran blames Mossad, vowing revenge. The message is clear. The gloves are off. Civilian areas are now at risk. With attacks growing bolder and deadlier, the line between covert operations and open war continues to blur. And every drone strike, every assassination, every explosion risk sparking a larger, uncontrollable war. In every potential war, alliances determine its scale and its consequences. In the case of Israel and Iran, the web of support is deep, strategic, and dangerously global. Israel's closest ally and always has been the United States. Billions in military aid, shared intelligence, and coordinated cyber efforts form the backbone of this partnership. In a 2024 joint exercise, U.S. bombers and Israeli jets simulated long-range attacks, clearly sending a message to Tehran. Iran, meanwhile, has leaned heavily on its ties with Russia and China. Moscow supplies Tehran with air defense systems and advanced drones, some of which have been tested in Ukraine. China, Iran's biggest oil buyer, shields it diplomatically at the UN and supports infrastructure projects through the Belt and Road Initiative. Arab states, once bitter enemies of Israel, are staying quiet, but not uninvolved. The Abraham Accords created new defense relationships between Israel and countries like the UAE and Bahrain. Saudi Arabia, although not a signatory, shares Israel's concern about Iran and may offer covert support. All this creates a volatile mix. If war breaks out, oil prices could soar, shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz could close, and superpowers might be drawn into the conflict. It's not just a regional war, it's a global risk. Let's imagine the unthinkable. A war breaks out between Israel and Iran in 2025. What happens next? First, missile barrages. Iran possesses thousands of short and medium-range missiles capable of hitting every corner of Israel. Some are even precision-guided, designed to overwhelm Israel's Iron Dome and David's sling defense systems. Tel Aviv, Haifa and Jerusalem would come under fire. Israel would respond fast and hard, striking Iranian nuclear facilities, military bases, and command centers. But Iran wouldn't stand alone. Hezbollah in Lebanon could launch tens of thousands of rockets, creating a two-front war. Iran-backed militias in Iraq and Syria would join in, and the Houthis might attack Israeli shipping in the Red Sea. Cyber warfare would explode banks' power grids, and communication systems could be paralyzed. AI-driven drones and autonomous weapons could see their first large-scale use, making this war unlike anything seen before. Civilian casualties would be catastrophic. Refugee flows would overwhelm neighboring countries. Global oil prices could skyrocket, and nuclear facilities, if hit, could cause fallout across the region. This is not a distant, unlikely scenario. It's a very real possibility, and if cooler heads don't prevail, the consequences will ripple across every continent. Despite the looming danger, not all hope is lost. Even in 2025, there are back channels open. Diplomatic efforts led by Qatar, Oman, and even Turkey are quietly pushing for de-escalation. The U.S. continues to pressure both sides, offering mediation behind closed doors inside Iran. Unrest is growing. Young people, disillusioned with the regime's authoritarian grip, are protesting for reform. These internal pressures could weaken the government's appetite for full-scale war. At the same time, economic realities are hitting hard. Iran's economy is struggling under sanctions. Israel faces pressure to avoid international condemnation and war fatigue. Both sides know that a major war would come with a staggering cost. Some regional players, including Saudi Arabia and the UAE, have an interest in peace. Their economic development hinges on regional stability. Quiet discussions between Saudi, Israeli, and even Iranian officials have occurred in recent years. Is it enough? Maybe not, but it's something. And in a conflict defined by decades of hatred, even a small chance at peace is worth fighting for. Israel and Iran have walked this tightrope for years, but in 2025, the rope is fraying. Whether it holds or snaps depends on the choices made today. Stay informed, stay alert, and don't forget to subscribe to News Decode, where we bring you clarity in a world full of chaos.